He pushed the door open with his shoulder, briefcase still in hand, rainwater dripping from his coat onto the marble floor. The clock on the wall said 4:17 p.m. He wasn't supposed to be home for another 6 hours. As the door clicked shut behind him, a hand shot out of nowhere and grabbed his wrist. "Sir, don't move." The whisper was sharp, desperate. Raymond Hale froze. His heart slammed once hard. He looked down and saw Lena, his maid, standing far closer than she ever had before. Her eyes were wide, glassy with fear, her finger pressed tightly against her lips. "Stay quiet," she breathed. "Please." Raymond instinctively pulled his hand back. "Lena, what the hell is going on?" he whispered, already scanning the room. "Why are you?" A thud came from upstairs. Not loud. Controlled. Like furniture being moved carefully. Raymond's jaw tightened. "Who's in my house?" Lena shook her head quickly, terror spilling over. "Not here. Not now. Please, sir. If they hear you..." Another sound. Voices this time. Oh, familiar. Raymond's stomach dropped. He took one slow step toward the staircase. Lena blocked him with her body, hands shaking as she clutched his sleeve. "Sir, I'm begging you. You cannot go up there." "Move," he said quietly, authority creeping into his voice. "This is my home." "They think you're in Geneva," she whispered. "They think you won't be back till Sunday." Raymond stared at her. "Who thinks that?" Before she could answer, laughter drifted down from the second floor. A man's voice. Confident. Arrogant. Raymond knew that laugh. His brother Victor. The world seemed to tilt. "Why is Victor in my house?" Raymond whispered. Lena swallowed. "Not just him." Another voice joined in. A woman's this time. Sharp, complaining. "I told you the safe would be behind the study wall. He always hides things there." Raymond's fingers curled into fists. "My sister," he muttered. Lena nodded, tears pooling. "And your cousin. They came this morning." Raymond felt heat rush to his head. Anger. Betrayal. "They broke into my house?" "Yes," Lena said. "But, sir, there's more." Raymond exhaled slowly, forcing himself to think. He glanced at the security panel by the door. The screen was black. Why didn't the alarm go off? "I disabled it," Lena said quickly. Raymond snapped his head toward her. "You did what?" "I had to," she said, voice trembling. "They threatened me. They said if I didn't cooperate, they'd destroy my life." Raymond stared at her, disbelief mixing with fury. "You helped them." "No," she said immediately, shaking her head. "I pretended to." Upstairs, Victor's voice grew louder. "Relax. By tonight, everything will be done. He won't even know what hit him." Raymond's blood ran cold. Lena leaned closer, her whisper barely audible. "They're not just stealing money, sir. They're looking for documents." "What documents?" Raymond asked. "The trust papers," she said. "The ones that decide who controls the company if something happens to you." Raymond closed his eyes briefly. Those papers were supposed to be secret. How do they know about them? "They've been planning this for months," Lena said. "I heard everything." Another crash echoed from upstairs. "Careful," someone hissed. "That vase is worth more than your car." Raymond took a step back, his mind racing. "Why didn't you call the police?" Lena's voice broke. "Because they told me they already had." Raymond frowned. "That makes no sense." "They said they would report me first," she continued. "They said they'd tell the police I helped them from the beginning. That I planned everything. That I stole from you." Raymond looked at her uniform, her trembling hands, the fear etched into her face. Lena had worked for him for 3 years. She barely spoke unless spoken to. She never complained. She never missed a day. "You could have just run," Raymond said quietly. "I couldn't," Lena whispered. "This job is everything to me." Raymond studied her, then asked, "Why didn't you warn me earlier?" Lena hesitated, then slowly reached into her apron pocket. She pulled out her phone and unlocked it. On the screen was a recording app still running. The timer showed hours. I wanted proof, she said. Real proof. Not just my word. Raymond's eyes flicked from the phone to her face. You've been recording them? Yes, she said. Every conversation. Every plan. Everything they said about you. Upstairs, footsteps moved closer to the stairs. Victor's voice floated down again. Lena. Bring us water. Now. Lena flinched. Raymond lowered his voice. Do they know you're recording them? No, she said. They think I'm scared. They think I'm on their side. Raymond let out a slow breath. The rage in his chest shifted into something colder. Calculated. All right, he said. Listen to me carefully. Lena looked up, hope flickering. We're not confronting them yet, Raymond whispered. Not until we're ready. What do we do? She asked. Raymond glanced around, then pointed toward the service hallway. We hide. For now. Lena hesitated. Sir, if they find you. They won't, Raymond said firmly. Because they're too busy thinking I'm not here. Another voice upstairs laughed. After this, we're done with him forever. Raymond's jaw tightened. He followed Lena into the hallway, every step measured, every sound amplified. His heart pounded not with fear, but with the sick realization that the people plotting against him shared his blood. As they disappeared into the shadows, Raymond made a silent promise. If his family wanted a war, he would let them think they were winning, right up until the moment everything collapsed around them. They moved silently through the narrow service corridor, the kind designed so staff could pass unseen. Raymond hadn't walked through it in years, yet now every step felt painfully loud. Lena stopped beside a storage room and eased the door open just enough for them to slip inside. The door closed softly behind them. Raymond leaned against the wall, breathing slow, controlled. From here they could still hear voices drifting down from upstairs, muffled but clear enough to sting. I still can't believe how easy this was, Victor said, laughing. Big Brother really let his guard down. Raymond clenched his jaw. His sister's voice followed, cold and sharp. He always thought he was smarter than us. Cutting us off, acting like we were nothing. You were nothing, Victor snapped. That's why we're here. Lena's shoulders tensed. Raymond noticed. He lowered his voice even more. How long have they been coming here? Since yesterday evening, she whispered. They waited until the guards changed shifts. They knew the schedule. Raymond's eyes narrowed. Someone inside my company gave them information. Lena nodded slowly. I think so. Upstairs, footsteps paced back and forth. Drawers opened. Papers shuffled. Did you find it? Victor demanded. Not yet, the cousin replied. But it has to be here. He wouldn't keep something that important anywhere else. Raymond felt a chill. They weren't just stealing, they were hunting. What exactly did they say about the documents? Raymond asked. Lena swallowed. They said if they got those papers they could legally take control. Even force you out. Raymond closed his eyes for a second. Years of work. Sacrifice. All of it hanging by a thread. You did the right thing, he whispered to Lena. Recording them. She shook her head slightly. I didn't do it because it was right. I did it because I was scared. That doesn't make it less brave, Raymond said. Her eyes flicked to him, surprised. A sudden loud bang from upstairs made them both flinch. Found something. Victor shouted. Come look at this. Raymond pushed off the wall. They're close. Lena nodded. The study is right above us. Raymond thought fast. If they get the documents, it complicates things. They haven't yet, Lena said. They were arguing earlier. They don't know the combination to the wall safe. Raymond's lips curved into a tight smile. Good. He reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone. The screen lit up. He hesitated. If you call anyone now, Lena whispered, they'll hear. I know, Raymond said. I'm not calling yet. He slipped the phone back. Tell me everything you heard. From the beginning. Lena took a shaky breath. Yesterday morning Victor came first. He said you sent him to check on the house. I knew it was a lie, but he spoke so confidently. Then the others came. They said you were done with them, and this was the only way to take back what was theirs. What about you? Raymond asked. They said I was lucky, she said bitterly. Lucky to be allowed to help. They promised money if I cooperated. Then they threatened me when I hesitated. Raymond's fists tightened. Threatened how? They said they'd accuse me of stealing from you, she said. That I'd go to prison. That no one would believe a maid over a powerful family. Upstairs, laughter erupted again. Raymond felt something crack inside him. They underestimate you, he said quietly. Lena gave a sad smile. They always do. A pause followed upstairs, then his sister's voice dropped. What about the maid? Victor scoffed. She's scared. She'll do what she's told. Raymond looked at Lena. She stared at the floor, her expression unreadable. Keep an eye on her anyway, the sister continued. People like that can't be trusted. Raymond's eyes darkened. They're about to come down, Lena whispered suddenly. Sometimes they take breaks in the kitchen. Raymond scanned the room. One small window near the ceiling. No exit. We stay quiet. Footsteps descended the stairs. The sound of the kitchen door opening echoed, followed by the hum of the refrigerator. Victor's voice came closer. You think Raymond suspects anything? Please, the cousin replied. He's probably in a hotel somewhere, drinking himself to sleep. Raymond's nails dug into his palm. If this works, Victor said, we'll finally be free of him. The fridge door slammed shut. Glasses clinked. Raymond leaned toward Lena, barely breathing. If they come this way. They won't, she whispered. They never use this corridor. Seconds stretched. Then minutes. Finally, footsteps moved away. The kitchen door closed. Silence returned, broken only by faint voices upstairs. Raymond let out a controlled breath. All right. This is what we're going to do. Lena looked at him, waiting. I'm going to let them think they're winning, he said. They'll keep talking. Keep planning. And you'll keep recording. And then, she asked. And then, Raymond said, eyes cold and focused, I take everything they said, and I end this. Lena hesitated. Sir, what if they hurt someone before then? They won't, Raymond said. Because they think they have time. Upstairs, Victor's voice echoed again. By tonight, it'll all be over. Raymond allowed himself a thin, dangerous smile. Yes, he whispered. It will. Outside, thunder rolled in the distance, unheard by the people upstairs, people who had no idea that the man they were betraying was already inside the house, listening to every word, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Raymond stayed still long after the voices faded back upstairs. His mind worked fast, stitching together every detail Lena had shared, every careless word his family had spoken. Betrayal always hurt more when it came from blood, but pain was useless now. Precision was what mattered. Sir, Lena whispered, breaking the silence, they'll come back down soon. They always do. Good, Raymond replied softly. I want them comfortable. She looked at him, confused. Comfortable? Yes, he said. People make mistakes when they think they're safe. A sudden shout from upstairs cut through the air. Where's the maid again? Lena stiffened. Victor's voice followed, sharper. Lena, we need you. Now. Raymond met her eyes. This is the moment. Fear flashed across her face. Sir, if they suspect. They won't, Raymond said calmly. You go. Act normal. Do exactly what you've been doing. And you? I'll stay out of sight, he said. But I'll be listening. Lena nodded, though her hands trembled. She straightened her uniform, wiped her face, and took a steadying breath before slipping out of the storage room. Raymond waited until her footsteps faded, then shifted closer to the door, careful not to make a sound. Moments later, Lena's voice drifted down from the stairs. "Yes, sir?" "About time," Victor snapped. "Where have you been disappearing to?" "I was cleaning the guest wing," Lena replied evenly. "You told me not to disturb you." There was a pause. "Fair enough," Victor said. "Bring us coffee. All of you." Raymond exhaled slowly. She was holding her own. From his hiding place, he listened as cups clinked and water ran. Every sound felt magnified. His phone buzzed softly in his pocket. He ignored it. Upstairs, the conversation shifted. "I still don't like this," his sister said. "What if he comes back early?" Victor laughed. "Relax. I checked his calendar myself. He won't be back." Raymond almost smiled. The cousin spoke next, voice greedy. "Once we get those documents, what's stopping us from selling our shares immediately?" "Nothing," Victor said. "That's the beauty of it. He built everything. We take it." "And the maid?" the sister asked quietly. Raymond's chest tightened. Victor shrugged. "She's a loose end. But that's tomorrow's problem." Lena's footsteps paused. Raymond held his breath. "She's not that stupid," Victor continued. "She knows better than to cross us." Raymond felt a surge of cold anger. He pulled his phone out, typed quickly, then stopped. "Not yet." Minutes passed. Then Lena's voice again, calm but strained. "Here's your coffee. Set it down," Victor said. "And close the door behind you." Raymond's pulse spiked. The door shut upstairs. For a moment there was silence. Then shouting. "What is this?" Victor barked. Raymond leaned closer. "Why is the coffee cold?" the sister snapped. "Were you trying to poison us?" I just made it," Lena stammered. "You think we're fools?" Victor said. "You've been acting strange all day." Raymond's hand tightened around his phone. "You've been listening, haven't you?" Victor continued. "Snooping where you shouldn't." "I haven't," Lena said quickly. "I swear." "Check her phone," the cousin suggested. Raymond's heart slammed. "Give it to me," Victor demanded. There was a pause. Too long. "No," Lena said softly. Silence fell like a blade. "What did you say?" Victor asked. "I said no," she repeated, her voice shaking now. "That's my private property." Raymond knew then. This was going to break one way or another. "You forget your place," Victor said coldly. "You're nothing here." "I'm not nothing," Lena replied, surprising even herself. Raymond's chest tightened with something close to pride. A sharp sound followed. Something hit the floor. "Pick it up," Victor snapped. Raymond couldn't take it anymore. He stepped out of the storage room. "Don't touch her." The words rang through the house like a gunshot. Upstairs, chaos erupted. Chairs scraped. Footsteps rushed toward the stairs. "What the?" Victor's voice cracked. Raymond walked into the open space beneath the staircase, standing tall, calm, unmistakable. "I'm home," he said evenly. Victor froze halfway down the stairs, face draining of color. "Raymond?" The sister appeared behind him, eyes wide. "You weren't supposed to be here." "No," Raymond said. "I wasn't." The cousin stumbled back. This is a misunderstanding." Raymond's gaze never left Victor. "Is it?" Victor recovered quickly, forcing a laugh. "You're overreacting. We were just stealing?" Raymond interrupted. "Planning to frame my employee? Or deciding what to do with her after?" Silence. Lena stood near the wall, tears streaming, phone clenched in her hand. "You heard us?" the sister whispered. "I heard everything," Raymond replied. Victor's jaw tightened. "You think you can prove any of it?" Raymond glanced at Lena. "Can I?" She nodded and raised her phone. "It's all recorded." Victor lunged forward. "Give me that." Raymond moved instantly, stepping between them. "Touch her, and this ends very badly for you." "You wouldn't?" Victor hissed. Raymond looked at him with something like disappointment. You don't know me anymore. Sirens wailed in the distance. The sound drained the last bit of confidence from Victor's face. What did you do? Raymond finally took his phone out. I called the police 10 minutes ago. I sent them the recordings. And I sent copies to my lawyer. The cousin panicked. We can talk about this. Yes, Raymond said. You can. In court. The front door burst open moments later. Officers flooded the house, weapons drawn, voices commanding. Victor raised his hands slowly, staring at Raymond with disbelief. You planned this. Raymond shook his head. No. You did. As they were handcuffed and led away, Victor turned back. You chose a maid over your own family. Raymond didn't hesitate. I chose loyalty over greed. The door closed behind them, leaving the house eerily quiet. Lena sank to the floor, sobbing. Raymond knelt beside her. It's over. She looked up at him, eyes red. I thought I was going to lose everything. You didn't, he said gently. You saved it. She shook her head. I just did what I thought was right. Raymond studied her for a long moment. Sometimes that's everything. As the last echo of sirens faded, Raymond knew this wasn't just the end of a betrayal. It was the beginning of something neither of them expected. Raymond stayed beside her until her breathing slowed. The house felt different now, emptier, quieter, like it was finally telling the truth. Lena wiped her face with trembling fingers and tried to stand, but her knees buckled. Raymond caught her arm. Easy, he said. You've been carrying too much fear for one day. I'm sorry, she whispered. I shouldn't be crying like this. You absolutely should, Raymond replied. Anyone would. They sat there for a moment, the silence heavy but no longer threatening. Outside, police radios crackled faintly, then faded as the officers finished their work. Lena finally spoke. Sir, I really thought you were going to hate me. When you found out I disabled the security system. Raymond looked at her. If you hadn't, I might have walked straight into them. Or worse. He paused. You protected me. She shook her head. I only did it because they scared me. And yet, Raymond said, you still chose to do the right thing. She looked away embarrassed. Raymond stood and offered her his hand. Come on. Let's get you some water. They walked into the kitchen together. The cups his family had used were still on the counter, half full, abandoned. Raymond picked one up, stared at it for a second, then set it aside as if it disgusted him. I should clean this, Lena said automatically. No, Raymond replied firmly. Not today. He poured her a glass of water and waited until she drank. Lena, he said, why didn't you leave when they threatened you? She hesitated, then spoke quietly. Because this job gave me my life back. Raymond frowned. What do you mean? She took a breath. Years ago, my mother was dying. We couldn't afford the hospital bills. They were going to turn her away. Raymond felt a strange pull in his chest. There was a man, Lena continued. A stranger. He overheard me crying on the phone. He paid everything. He didn't even tell me his name. Raymond's heart skipped. He saved my mother's life, she said. She lived long enough to see me get this job. To see me stand on my own feet. Raymond slowly sank into a chair. Lena, when did this happen? 5 years ago, she said. At St. Mary's Hospital. Raymond swallowed hard. He remembered that day. He'd been there visiting a business partner. He remembered the crying woman. The desperation in her voice. He'd written a check without thinking twice. That was you? He asked quietly. She nodded. I recognized you the day you hired me. You didn't recognize me. I never expected you to. Raymond looked at her, truly looked at her, as if seeing her for the first time. So when my family came here, I couldn't let them hurt you, she said. Not after what you did for me. The weight of it settled between them. All this time, Raymond murmured, I thought I was alone. You weren't, Lena said softly. You just didn't know. Raymond stood again, emotion tightening his voice. You don't work for me anymore. Her face fell. I understand. I'll leave quietly. I never meant. You misunderstand, he interrupted. You don't work for me anymore, because I don't want you cleaning my floors. She stared at him. I want you managing my household, Raymond continued. Staff decisions. Security oversight. Direct access to me. Her mouth opened then closed. Sir, I'm just a maid. No, Raymond said gently. You're someone I trust with my life. Tears welled up again, but this time they were different. I don't know what to say. Say yes, Raymond replied. She nodded, overwhelmed. Yes. Thank you. Raymond exhaled, feeling lighter than he had in years. Tomorrow my lawyers will finalize everything. As for tonight. He glanced around the mansion. Tonight we lock this place down. Together. Lena managed a small smile. Together. Later that evening, after the house was secure and the silence finally felt peaceful, Raymond stood by the window watching the city lights glow. Betrayal had come from those he shared blood with. Loyalty had come from someone the world taught him to overlook. He turned toward Lena. You know, he said, people think money buys protection. She tilted her head. It doesn't? No, Raymond replied. Character does. The story you just watched is a reminder that sometimes the greatest heroes are the ones standing quietly beside us, unseen, until the moment everything is on the line. If this story moved you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Would you have trusted the maid? Or would fear have made you act differently? Your support helps bring more powerful stories like this to life. Thank you for watching, and remember, true loyalty is priceless.